All right, members, turn to your last item, please. File item 11. And Mr. Ray, I think you're kind of coordinating this presentation. And I think it's you, Mr. Gartrell, Mr. Minton, and Mr. Cushman, if I have that correct. Okay. Members, this is one of our periodic presentations by parties who called upon us to take a look at things they thought were relevant. You may recall that the Environmental Water Caucus way back in 2010, 2011 wanted to present what they called their master plan or general plan or whatever in the Dickens it was called. And over my better judgment, I said yes, and it wasn't terrible. We've had presentations from the Nature Conservancy on McCormick-Williamson Tract, state and federal water contractors on the South Yolo project, and this is a opportunity to hear from a recent announced suggestion. So, yeah. Mr. Ray?
Yes, Mr. Chairman and other members of the council, it was only a few weeks ago that a rather unusual consortium of conservation and business organizations from the Bay Area suggested an additional alternative ought to be considered in the evaluation of the Bay Delta Conservation Plan. And almost immediately after that was released, another group of water agencies, both in the Bay Area and in Southern California, said, yeah, we think this is an idea that warrants evaluation.
Could I just ask something? Mr. Ray, we're passing out a portfolio-based BDCP conceptual alternative plus a letter. These are the ones that are in our agenda packet, I believe.
I don't know what
these
you've
are not
received,
new. These two documents are not revised.
I believe there is also added today a list of...
Yeah, I'm coming to those.
Oh, okay.
Because we've got a
We have not revised those
Okay,
items.
so members, you've got this document, but if people want spare copies, there's some spare copies here. That's in agenda item 11. A document down at the bottom dated February 20, I think, is an updated list of groups in support of the conceptual alternative. And then there is
I do have to, excuse me, Chair Eisenberg, they are in support of analyzing it. Thank you.
That's right, because no one who proposes a study of anything is actually supporting what they propose to be studied merely to study it. Got it?
That is not our view, but you can characterize it that way.
All right, I just want to make sure. Then we've got a map stated Southern California Local Water Supply Development Plans. Here, a whole bunch of copies going around. Timing of actions appears to be like a ninth page of a slideshow or something like that from the Contra Costa Water District, Mr. Gartrell's.
Yes, note the date on it. This new alternative.
Oh, I'm sorry, January 07 up at the top right-hand side. I just saw that right now.
We've at least been consistent.
Nothing is new in the world.
Nothing else.
All right.
So the alternative that's been suggested is to have a smaller North Delta diversion, about 3,000 cubic feet per second, reduced habitat restoration actions, and then also additional investments in Delta levees and improved storage and conservation and recycling. Now, in terms of our ultimate responsibilities, when we review the EIR, I think one of the things that we'll be looking at is the requirement in the Delta Reform Act that EIR consider a reasonable range of Delta conveyance alternatives. And you have previously, in correspondence, or Joe Grindstaff did last spring, emphasize the importance of the EIR-EIS outlining the screening process that it's used to make sure that they are evaluating a wide range of conveyance choices. So I think with that, I'll just turn it over to the folks at my right. Jonas Minton's here from the Planning and Conservation League. Dennis Cushman, who's the Assistant General Manager for the San Diego County Water Agency. And then Gay Gartell, who you all have seen frequently, who's the Assistant General Manager.
And I forgot to mention that 18 months ago, Mr. Minton had a study of 3,000 cubic feet per second alternative paper from the Planning and Conservation League that also you talked to us about at the council, but it had various presentations. So, gentlemen.